With Rise of Shadows just around the corner, we wanted to take a look at the top 5 new cards that we think will be the most impactful. While the Rise of Shadows expansion certainly looks exciting and comes out tomorrow, keep in mind that all these cards are being released at the same time that Journey to Un'Goro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and the Kobolds and Catacombs are rotating out. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all our Hearthstone content. With that being said, let's jump right into our top 5 cards from Rise of Shadows. At number 5, Sludge Slurper. To the surprise of no one, Sludge Slurper finds itself starting off our tier list. The card naturally supports aggressive archetypes, Murloc based or not. While overloading on turn 1 can be problematic, the card adds a powerful lackey to your hand, which will fill out your curve. On top of this, Shaman received many new tools to support a Murloc archetype, making Sludge Slurper even more powerful. If any type of aggro shaman sees play, it's almost certain that Sludge Slurper will sneak his way into the lists. At number 4, Mana Cyclone. It has a lot of potential, and if it finds the right deck, it can be really powerful. While it is understated and does require a lot of support to make it work, it still can be worth it. Mana Cyclone will likely fit into a Tempo Mage deck running cheaper spells such as Arcane Missile, Frostbolt, and the new spell, Magic Trick. Since Sorcerer's Apprentice is still in Standard, you can easily cast all these spells in a single turn and then reload with Mana Cyclone. It only needs to produce about 2 spells before the card is worth it, which is very easy for a more aggressive mage deck to do. If we see a lot of aggro and Tempo Mage in the meta, we'll also be seeing a lot of Mana Cyclone. Number 3, Plot Twist. While Plot Twist doesn't generate card advantage, it can turn a dead and useless hand into a handful of answers or new cards to play with. Whether you're playing aggro and have a bunch of low impact cards and need to build up some steam, or you're a control deck that is missing removal, this card can save you for just 2 mana. The utility and low mana cost of Plot Twist make this card an auto-include for most Warlock archetypes, and is something we'll likely be seeing in decks for a long time. At number 2, Barista Lynchin. This card offers an immense amount of value for a cheap mana cost. While Barista Lynchin is slightly understated for 5 mana, copying powerful battlecry effects can single-handedly win games. Cards such as Genelai the Dragonhawk, Alexstrasza, Shadowwalk, and Nozari are a few that could benefit massively from this effect. While she doesn't fit well in a hyper-aggressive deck, Barista Lynchin will make a huge impact in slower mid-range and control decks that rely on a lot of powerful battlecries. While she does come at the cost of losing tempo, the fact that she is still decently statted and produces an absurd amount of value makes her easily one of the best cards of the set. And at number 1, Gepetto Joy Buzz. This card is hard to evaluate since it has so much potential, but one thing is for certain, this card will break the game at some point. His battlecry screams combo deck, and given the fact that Malygos and Alexstrasza both will live on for at least another year in Standard, Gepetto will always have 2 excellent targets. While it is true that you have to draw him in the right order to work in certain combos, it still is almost certainly going to be included, since hitting Cycle or another powerful legendary is also great. And while combo is the most intuitive place for this card to be played, a control deck that also uses a Barista Lynchin could also easily use this card. Reducing the cost of a Nozari or Shadowwalk to 1 is nothing short of game-breaking. One of the only ways we see Gepetto not seeing play is if the meta is hyper-aggressive, making it hard to pull off combos consistently. In conclusion, Rise of Shadows has a lot of new and exciting cards in store for players. The only disappointing aspect of this expansion is that the best cards are also the rarest. It's always nice to have decks made up of strong commons and rares, so that not all decks require too much dust. Still, this expansion looks like a lot of fun, and with much of the current standard card pool rotating to Wild, it's certainly going to be a whole new and exciting Standard experience. That wraps up our top 5 list. Are there any cards you think that we missed? Let us know which ones in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to keep up with our Rise of Shadows content. Thank you for watching, and we here at Tempestorm wish you the best of luck in your pack openings. We look forward to seeing you in the coming year.